And I've just got a little reminder here about those Parnu river cruises. We saw the jetty earlier near the bridge. Here it says tickets €10, just in case we didn't pick that up from the information riverside at the time. There's also the possibility of getting little boats out to two small islands just off Parnu, Runu and Kinu. Might be interesting, particularly around Midsummer's Day, Midsummer's Night in particular, for the festivities, bonfires, barbecues, fireworks, dancing, music, traditional foods. Who knows what they get up to on those islands? But something for you to do a little research into if you're interested. So if you're tired of Parnu, I don't know how that's possible, but if you did get tired of Parnu, you could take a side trip out to one of those little islands. Here we're on Supalooza Street. We've come back towards town on Tamsara, so in the opposite direction to the one I was suggesting you take if you're interested in visiting Pernova Nature House. We've come back towards the centre, as my time is short here. Who said that famously before me? Can't remember. Anyway, sorry for stealing that line. We've come back onto Supalooza Street, which is very useful because, for one thing, we've got another little sculpture to pick up on. Another thing, it brings to mind another festival that takes place in Parnu. This Supalooza road goes down to the beach and then back up from the beach to the centre. When the food and drink festival is going on, it's a rather nice event. For one thing, it's not costing you anything. Well, yes, it does cost you if you want to buy the food and buy the drink, but it's not a festival with an entry price to get a ticket. It's basically like an open street party, very nice atmosphere. Predominantly local people, but also some tourists will hear the noise and think, oh, what's going on there? And maybe smell the food being prepared and follow their noses. It's basically loads of street food trucks around the place, DJs on balconies, in little courtyard garden areas, any green space. There will be outdoor food being prepared, seating, music, all very nice. You have to admit that the food and drink festival is best enjoyed if you're either a member of a family or in a cosy couple, or perhaps you're in a group but you're not looking for a real rowdy time, you know. They'll play modern music. There may be some freestyle dancing going on, but it's just relatively calm, but people having fun at the same time. It's not quiet because of the music and because of people having a good time, but it's not a wild time like the younger generation would have at Weekend Festival, for example. Ooh, an apple tree. All those fruits just waiting to end up as preserves or in pies. There's also a little shop I'd like to mention on this street, which you might be thinking about popping into, but then considering, well, it's a sort of antique place and no, the prices will be high. Just wanted to bring your attention to it because it's actually a very reasonably priced place. And you know, I don't often say things like that. You can go in there when it's open, possibly only summer. There we are, Antiquariat, Loncava Connor, Antiquariat. Closed out of season now. Hopefully it's back open again for the summer. very reasonably priced old antique type of items. Sort of more nostalgic memorabilia items are sold in there. And if you wanted to get your old style coins, banknotes, posters, vinyl records from the 1980s and earlier, you're going to find items of that sort. Old comics and books, for example. And the prices really were reasonable. They weren't aimed at taking advantage of the foreign tourist who might wander in there. People like me would think, oh God, they'll mark it up, and then the price will be marked up again when they realise I'm a native English speaker. But no, that's not the case, and absolutely zero pressure on you. You can go in there, look around, pick things up, browse, and there's no, oh, can I help you? Is there anything you're looking for in particular? And you're thinking, oh God, this person's hands are sweating just at the thought of getting their mitts on my wallet. But no, not in that antiquariat. Like the other antiquariats I go into from time to time. Just not like that. Even more beautiful architecture. This, I would say, would be the sort of centre point of that food and drink festival, and I'm sure that that establishment called Caroselli does very well at the time as well as at any time in the summer, but particular that festival afternoon and evening. Lovely street, one of so many. Isn't that a gorgeous touch? They don't need to do it, but they just have. I think I would call that class. Just a classy touch that you don't see very often. And while we've got some crumbling elegance on that side of the road, which is crying out for some investment, pretty place, we've got something really phenomenally ugly here. What is Miami Lounge doing? It may be the greatest place in the world, but really, I think it should be at the dog recreational end of the beach myself, based on the architecture. And here's one of those little places which gets taken over by the food and drink festival. So some of the places are actually operating cafes during the summer anyway, and that's perhaps what's drawn the food festival into this location. But there'll be the food trucks as well, so everybody benefits because so many people come. There are plenty of customers for all the street vendors as well as the existing cafe establishments and restaurants. Everybody's happy. Just got to watch my step, the roots of the tree growing out under the pavement. You can get a sense of what a lovely little street this is, can't you? Parnu cruises. That's interesting. They mentioned €12 there, but on that other side, €10. Maybe it's 12 in peak season, 10 in the shoulder season, at a guess, or just a special offer, a one-off special offer of €10. See if it drums up more trade. Well, this has just reminded me coming to Parnu for this afternoon that I'm still in love with the place. I know that sounds soppy, but yeah, some places just get under your skin. And here is Koidula Villa. Did Lydia Koidula, the national poetess of Estonia, live here? Or are they just taking advantage of her reputation? Taking advantage of a lady's reputation. Sounds despicable, doesn't it? Hopefully, she lived here at number 21 Superlusa at some stage. Or maybe she was a part of a writing circle, which would meet at 21 Superlusa. Don't know. Don't know the full history of that one. But we're coming back nicely to the centre, which I'm very happy about. Got tennis courts over in that direction, I believe. And where are we going now? I know what we haven't seen. We haven't seen that rather austere, but you've really got to make the effort to go and see it, Russian Orthodox Church. Have we? No, we haven't. Let's go this way. Oh, let's not. Let's go this way. And maybe there'll be some more sights to see. Koidula Park and Brakmani Park. So I guess they sort of side by side. And I'm in the Brakmani side of it at the moment. Parks everywhere in Parnu. So if you are a nature lover, you don't have to go to the Pernova Nature House and spend a bit of money. You can come here, just around the ring of green that runs around the western, eastern and southern sides of the old town. Help yourself to some falling apples. And if you don't like the golden ones, you can enjoy some russet looking apples, russet red apples. Why not? Here's that man who the park's named after, Mr. Brackman. Studied medicine and law, University of Tartu, but studied at Parnu Higher District School. Oh, the initiator of systematic development of Parnu Holiday Resort. Supervised the creation of the beach park, mud and balneotherapy baths, as well as the Waldorf cellulose factory. Crikey, that's Waldorf salad cellulose factory. Without this man's initiative, we wouldn't be here today enjoying this stunning environment. I've just espied something on a wall. We've been over to see Lydia Koidula earlier. She's just off to my right at the moment. So moving away from the Brackman Park before it turns into the Lydia Koidula Park, I'll see if I can avoid cars. Can I sneak in here without looking like a car thief in order to snap some street art? If I'm lucky, I might be able to. Well, that's a shame. It starts off so promisingly with the grinning fox. I suppose he's a fox. Then the colourful bird. And then it just sort of runs out of ideas, doesn't it? But maybe it looks better on the laptop. It's something. And something's better than nothing. I'd say the glass is 3/4 full in that case. Because I appreciate the effort. Now, where's that Russian Orthodox church I promised you? I know. It's this away. And here we are. With so much tree presence, it's a little bit tricky to get the perfect angle to take in all the detail, the walls, the edges, dimension of this Russian Orthodox church. Look at the gate as well. Never mind the church, just the gate on its own is stunning. I mean, where do you see that kind of gorgeousness? You just don't. That's the answer. You just don't see it. You just have to come to Parnu to see it. It's simple. Book the flight, book the hostel, book the hotel. If you can afford it, book Villa Amenda or Tervisa Paradis and the water park. Wow. Not everybody's cup of tea, I know, and I'm not religious at all, but I know what I like. I like what I see. I see what I like. Some kind of combination of those things. Just trying to fight back the drool dripping from my chops. Maybe you feel the same way about certain architecture or natural landscapes, perhaps, I don't know. And there'll be plenty of you who've travelled, who've seen what you consider to be far grander churches, but that one's got a little something special about it, I would say. And over here, I can't ignore this building, can I? Here in 1917, the autonomous government of Estonia was established. Shaking off the Russian imperial past. And control. Briefly, but now independent again. And there are some of those men that modern day Estonians have to thank for that. Here we are in sunny Parnu, end of the afternoon. What I've been thinking of as a day trip has really only been a half-day trip, I feel. That became apparent to me when I reached the beach, and I've been checking my watch every so often. It became clear that Parnu deserves so much more of our time. Possibly my favourite place in the world. I know that sounds crazy for some of you, but that's what I'm thinking coming back here. I always knew it was a place which I could imagine one day settling down and living in, but things don't just work the way you expect, do they? Things can't all come together nicely and neatly. And yeah, I'm seeing it again through rose-tinted glasses a little bit, remembering all the positive things that I've experienced on previous visits to Parnu as well. Like all of us, you remember the days when the sun's shining. You forget about the days when it's raining, don't you? So, job well done. Pleased to have come back. Looking forward already to spending more time in Parnu. I hope this Parnu in a nutshell video has given you some impressions of what there is to see and do in Parnu. I tried to give a broad brushed sort of approach to all attractions, all entertainments, all recreational activities. Whether you could soak up any of the atmosphere in the videos, I don't know. You've really got to visit a place to soak up the atmosphere, haven't you? Maybe next time we meet, I'll see you in Parnu. Ciao, ciao.